Hi, I'm Eleanor and welcome to MotorMatters, your channel that gives you the latest, the greatest, the newest and the best in motoring in South Africa. So have you subscribed yet? Hit that button now. Then you'll get all the latest, newest and notified when we publish new videos. So what have we got for you today? About 2 weeks ago, I had the Mini Cooper on test. The little two-door original proper one, if I can call it that. The closest to original Mini, as in the smallest, the lightest, the funnest, and the go-kartist. Does that make sense? And I made a statement at the end of that video. And I said, the normal Cooper that gives you 115 kilowatts and 230 Newton meters of torque is all the Mini you need. Sorry to tell you, I lied. Because this one is the Cooper S. Can you see that little red S over there? Says it all. And it says it all in such a big way. Because what does it do? It drops the 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine in place of a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol engine that gives you 150 kilowatts, 300 Newton meters, driving the front wheels through a 7-speed dual clutch automatic. Now just have a look here. Just take a look at the size or lack thereof of this car, and you'll understand that that is serious power for a little car like this, the original go-kart. 18-inch alloy wheels, look at those dual color, dual tone alloy wheels, got cladding around the wheel arches, got cladding around the under the doors. It's got all these sort of features, got keyless entry, keyless go. Lovely feature, of course, is the frameless windows. Look at that. Look at those nice frameless windows. Real sporty look. Everything about it is sporty. Just take a look at this one over here quickly. Now, keeping in mind that Cooper, any Mini, you spec as you want, and the spec levels can go through the ceiling. Just keeping that in mind, because I can't even tell you what's standard and what isn't on this car. But you've got full electric adjustment for both driver and passenger with memories. A feature you get is, look here, if I want to let somebody in the back, I flip it forward like that, and it moves forward on its own. But let me tell you, it is still incredibly tight in here. I'm not going to even bring the seat forward. But have a look, bring the camera here. This car's got the dual sunroofs, okay? Which means headroom is pretty limited. I can tell you legroom is very limited. And to make sure that you know it's only a 4-seater, look at this cup holder and console over here that says to you, you ain't putting a third person in the back of this car, thank you very much. Not that I think you would want to. So it's features like that, but you have got these real fancy headrests built into the seats, etc. It's one of those cars that's great for the front seat. I'm not quite so sure about the back, but you know what? You got to know what you're doing when you're buying a car, don't you? And you buy a car that suits your lifestyle, suits your family, suits the usage you're going to do. You flip it back and it resets the seat to your position, which I think is really neat. You come around to the back. You got these Union Jack tail lights over here, the Union Jack design. Something I'm very surprised on this car. I had to open that on my own. Again, I would have said at this level, and for this money, surely a power tailgate would be a feature, but it's not. You've got a dummy floor to the boot, with, of course, a puncture kit, or whatever you want to call it, and no spare wheel. I'm not climbing in today, because you remember, you can go look at the other video, half Allen boot, that's what you get in this car. That's all. But again, you don't buy it for that. Otherwise, drop back seats, and that would be the most practical. Make it a 2 or 3-seater and give yourself boot space if you need. But it's not about that. It's about the extra 35 kilowatts under the bonnet. It's about the extra performance you get with the Cooper S. That's what this car is about. So let's check it on the road. Let's check it inside. Out on a cruise in the Mini Cooper S. It's the fun car, it really is. I thought the normal Cooper was enough Mini. this one is what it's about. But look at this over here. I tell you, this has got me. You got this experience switch, which you flick over there. We're in core at the moment. You flick it again, goes to go-kart mode, which, you know what that means? And it's so true to Mini, go-kart mode. But look there. It actually gives you a reading for your Newton meters and kilowatts. So look, when you accelerate, there are potholes on this road, so I apologize for that. But look at that. Look at those going. Look at those playing with those numbers over there. I mean, if this isn't fun, what is? Really and really, truly. But this car handles like an absolute dream, of course, as I'd expect. The ride can be a touch hard on speed bumps and things like that, but it's not built for that. It's built for fun cruising, racing around, because this is genuinely a go-kart four-wheeled with 150 kilowatts and 300 Newton meters of torque under my right foot that I'm playing with and giving me readings like that as we do it. This is the way to have fun while you're driving, that's for sure. Jumping in behind the wheel, there's nothing again, remember? But what I do have is that flip-up head-up display in front of me over there. That gives you your speed, gives you your various information, and does give you navigation information when you're using the nav. But you don't get any instrumentation in front of the driver. You do get this sort of fabric type feel over here, which I like. Multifunction steering wheel with everything, of course. 6 airbags on this car. It's got it all. And I did actually even pick up just now driving, it's got pedestrian detection, which I thought was a nice feature. A guy stepped into the road in front of me, picked up a big signal on the head-up display and warned me about him coming in front of the car. This car has also got a nice Harman Kardon sound system for you as well. Now, I'm not going to go into the actual price of this car because I've said to you a few times that it depends on your spec, it depends on what you want to add, it depends on all those things. But what I can tell you is that if you take the base price of the Cooper and the Cooper S, there's about a 45,000 Rand price difference. 45,000 Rand for all that extra performance. And it's about 7% is the biggest bargain I've come across in a long, long time. Let me phrase it that way. I didn't think you needed it, and I know you don't need it, quite honestly. But whew, it's fun to have. And it's one of those things that just brings out the little boy in me sometimes and says, I want the fun factor. And because the Mini is such a fun car to start with, especially this little 3-door version, it just actually makes sense. So 646 in base spec, plus you can start adding whatever you want to it beyond that as you go, as you know how it works with these cars. But all I can tell you is, no, it's not cheap. I know it's not, but it is a Mini. So it is a BMW Mini. You get lots of quality. You can feel it solidly put together. You get handling like you just can't match on any other car. You get the responsiveness on the steering that is very difficult to match on any other car. And you even get a 5-year, 100,000 kilometer full maintenance plan thrown into the price. I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed the normal Cooper. I enjoyed this one 10 times more. Very difficult for me to think of anything that competes with this car. I don't think I'm going to worry to. You want a Mini? You want a Mini. You get a Mini. Simple as that. For MotorMatters, I'm Alan R. See you next time. Of course, what you do get is what I termed last time round the LP record on the center of the over here. This is your instrumentation. Different, very graphics are amazing, but I found it difficult to find and access a few features that I was looking for. Probably need a lot more time with the car, but you do flip it across like that. You can move it that way. You can move it that way. You can go to navigation. You can do all these weird and wonderful things on it, as you can see just by pressing, and you press on there, for example, and look at that. I think you get my picture. It's very, very clear. The graphics are brilliant, and a lot of your controls, for example, your aircon controls are in there, your fan controls, all of it's there. I think I've said enough. You get my point. Come down below that. Of course, this is the other thing. You saw it in the last video. That's where your ignition, can I call it your ignition key? That's where you start the engine. That's your gear shift. That's park. And this, of course, back on the screen is your experiences. So you flick it once and it says core, which is your standard. You can go down into green or eco. You've got to be joking. Why would you do that? Look at that bonus range. I haven't done anything there, I can tell you. Or you go again and it says, hello, go-kart. Did you hear that? Yoo-hoo! And it even shows you Newton meters and kilowatts. I've shown you quite a bit of that while we were on the road, so I'm not going to spend too much time. So that is all you get on this car, and I think I'm giving you a good picture and a good idea. You've got, as I said, this fabric type effect on the dashboard. You've got all your air vents over here. You've got a funny little compartment here between the seats. Quite a strange one. Inductive charging pad there, and 2 USBs back here. So you've got everything you need.